Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you so much, Mr. Nankervis. Given the new national security law that's been introduced in China, should Canadians who have spoken, written, or acted in support of Hong Kong's freedoms and autonomy, even members of this committee, avoid traveling to Hong Kong, the People's Republic of China, or countries that are known to have close relations with China?
So, Mr. Chair, at this point, as I say, we don't have any experience of application of the new national security law in this area of extraterritoriality, which is of concern to us. And I think that the kind of judgments that people would need to make would be, in our view, similar now on certain topics, similar to the judgments one would make about traveling to mainland China if one had been, an outspoken advocate on sensitive issues, with regard to mainland China, such as on Tibet or Xinjiang or Taiwan independence or something like that.
And what about just asking questions, as we have been on this committee?
We do not assess, I think at this time, that participating in the asking of questions in a committee, that there's any likelihood that somebody would be prosecuted under the national security law in Hong Kong in that kind of a context.
Thank you. And have Hong Kong authorities requested any meetings with Canadian authorities in relation to any Canadian statements, policies, or debates about the national security law and the 2019 protests in Hong Kong?
We have had many meetings of different kinds, and one form it takes. So we have approached the Hong Kong government and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to make representations to them many times over the last 18 months on these different issues. When the Hong Kong government seeks us out, it's usually in the form of a group meeting with consulates and chambers of commerce, where they do reach out to give their side of issues and to register their unhappiness about when statements are made. And we do hear from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China directly in Ottawa, in Beijing, and in Hong Kong at times. When a Canadian statement is made, we do get a direct representation from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which does have in the China-Hong Kong system, it's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China that has the lead responsibility for managing foreign relations. So they do.
Thank you.
They certainly have been in touch with us regularly.
Are there any concerns about Hong Kong authorities denying the freedom to exit Hong Kong through passport confiscation or any other measures?
Well, Mr. Chair, as I've mentioned, we haven't seen any indication of that up to now. Certainly, some people are currently prevented from leaving Hong Kong because their passport has been confiscated through a bail process. So we haven't seen that kind of arbitrary application, neither for Canadians nor for anyone else from Hong Kong. It is the kind of thing that we know happens in mainland China, the sort of exit ban that you find out when you get to the airport that you're on a list. We have not seen any evidence of that to date in Hong Kong.
Thank you, Ms. Zahn. We'll now proceed to